Good morning, children. Today we are going to start our first chapter, Matter in our surrounding. So first we can see about what is meant by matter. So as we look at our surrounding, we see a large variety of things with different shapes, sizes and textures, isn't it? So we can see variety of things with different shapes, size and textures. Everything in the universe is made up of material which scientists have named as matter. Okay, so every substance which is present in the world is made up of material the scientist gave the name as matter. The air we breathe, the food we eat, stones, clouds, stars, plants and animals, even a small drop of water or particle of sand, everything is matter because it is made up of material. So it is matter. We can also see as we look around that all the things mentioned above occupy space. Okay, so these all materials occupy space and they have mass. Okay, so the matter have mass and it will occupy space. Okay, so early time human beings have been trying to understand their surroundings. Early Indian philosophers classified matter in the form of five basic elements. Okay, Indian philosophers in early time they classified matter into five basic elements and they gave the name as Pancha Tattva. Okay, Pancha Tattva, that means five basic elements. What are they? Air, earth, fire, sky and water. So they gave name as Pancha Tattva for these five basic elements. Not only that, ancient Greek philosophers had arrived at a similar classification of matter. Like Indian philosophers only, Greek philosophers also classified the matter into five basic elements. Now, modern day scientists classified matter based on its physical properties and chemical nature. Okay, so in modern day, scientists classified matter based on their physical properties and chemical nature. Understood, children? So in this chapter, we shall learn about matter based on its physical properties. Okay, so we are going to see about physical nature of matter. So there are five physical characteristics of matter. What are they? First one is matter is made up of particles. Okay, so all matter is made up of particles. Next, the particles of matter are very tiny. Okay, so the particles of matter are very small in size. Then the particles of matter have space between them. Okay, so the next physical nature of matter is what? The particles of matter have space in between them. Next, the particles of matter are continuously moving. Okay, so the particles of matter will be moving continuously. Next, the particles of matter attract each other. Okay, so they will attract each other. The particles of matter will attract each other. So these are the five physical nature of matter. Okay, so once again I will repeat, matter is made up of particles. So all the matter is made up of what? Particles, and these particles are very tiny or very small in size, and the particles of matter have space between them, and particles of matter are continuously moving. Particles of matter attract each other. Now we can see one by one physical nature of matter by seeing some activities. Okay, so first thing is matter is made up of particles. So we, for this, the activities which is given in your reader, let's see about the activity. You have to take some water in a beaker. Okay, so I have to take some water in a beaker and dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of glass rod. Okay, so you have to take water in a beaker. Just you have to note the level of water in a beaker. After that, dissolve salt or sugar in it with the help of glass rod. Okay, just dissolve it. Okay, the salt dissolve in the water. You know that salt or sugar, if you are adding in the water, it will dissolve, isn't it? So it will dissolve in the water, but the level of water does not change. Okay, so first itself we are noting the level of water, and after adding sugar or salt also, when we are noting the level of water, we can observe that there is no change in the level of water. Why this is happening? This is because the particles of water, it will get into the space between the particles of water. Okay, so this is because the particles of salt or sugar will get into the space between the particles of water. This shows that matter is made up of particles. Okay, so all the matter is made up of particles. When they mixed together, one particles, one matter, it will occupy the space between the particles of another matter. Understood, children? Now we can see next physical nature of matter, that is the particles of matter are very small. Okay, how small are these particles of matter? So we know that particles of matter are very small. We can see some activity. Okay, so now you have to take 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate in 100 ml of water. Okay, so first you take 100 ml of water in a beaker. You should add 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate in it and dissolve them in 100 ml of water. Now from the beaker where you added 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate, you have to take approximately 10 ml of the solution and put it into the another beaker which is having 90 ml of clear water. Okay, again you repeat the same thing. Take about 10 ml of the solution and put it into the another 90 ml of clear water. So keep diluting the solution like this for 5 to 8 times. Okay, so one more time I will say. First you have to take beaker with 100 ml of water, then you have to add 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate. Okay, and dissolve in it. After that, from this beaker we have to take approximately 10 ml of this solution and put it into the 90 ml of clear solution. Again from this we have to take out 10 ml of this solution and put it into the another beaker which is having 90 ml of clear water. So keep dilute the solution for 5 to 8 times. Okay, so this experiment shows that just a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large amount of water. Okay, about 1000 liters of water also it can color. So first we are adding only 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate, but still we are diluting the solution also. We can observe the color in all the beakers, isn't it? So just a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water. So from this we can conclude that there must be millions of tiny particles in just one crystal of potassium permanganate. Okay, so in one crystal of potassium permanganate there is millions of tiny particles which keep on dividing themselves into smaller and smaller particles. Okay, so the same activity we can do by using 2 ml of Dettol instead of potassium permanganate. Okay, so when we are diluting the Dettol we can see that the smell of the Dettol we can detect even on the repeated dilution also. Okay, so now we can say that particles of matter are very small, very tiny. Understood, children? Now we are moving to next physical nature of matter, that is particles of matter have space between them. So for this you have to take some water in a beaker and note its level, dissolve some salt or sugar in it. Already we have seen this first activity. So we have to dissolve the salt or sugar in it with the help of glass rod. The salt dissolves in the water but the level of water will not change. Okay, this is because what, the particle of the salt get into the space between the particles of water. This is one of the physical nature of matter. So next physical nature of matter is particles of matter are continuously moving. So in this you can see the solid the particles of solid particle is it is very difficult to move, but you can see the gaseous state it can move very fast. If it is liquid then gaseous it is lesser in their movement, but for solid it is difficult. It will take time to move, but also the particles of matter are continuously moving. So let us see by doing some activity which is given in the reader. So first activity which is given in your reader is burning of incense stick. So for this we have to put an unlit incense stick in a corner of your room. Okay, so in any room if you are keeping the incense stick, okay, after that you have to light the incense stick. What happens, the smell of the incense stick will be spreaded throughout the room. We can observe the smell, we can feel the smell of the incense stick, isn't it? Burning of incense. This why it is happening, because the particles of incense stick are continuously moving, so we can feel the smell of that incense stick. Understood? So by that we can say that particles of matter are continuously moving. Now we are going to see another one example activity. So take two glasses or beaker. Okay, so we have to take two glasses or beaker and fill it with water. Next put a drop of ink, blue ink or red ink, slowly and carefully along the sides of first beaker, and one more beaker you have to take honey in the same way. Okay, and leave them undisturbed in your house or in the corner of the class. Okay, after that record your observation. What do you observe immediately? So we can see that ink, it will start to continuously moving towards the water. Yes, isn't it? So the red ink or blue ink, it will slowly along the sides of the bottom, it will mix with that water. It will start to mix with the water. Why this is happening? This is because the particles of matter are continuously moving. Understood? So the intermixing of two or more different types of particles on their own is called diffusion. So next we can see one more activity. So particles of matter are continuously moving. Here we are taking a beaker. Okay, so one of the beaker containing hot water, another beaker containing cold water. Okay, so drop a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate into the glass. Okay, so you have to take one beaker which is having hot water, another containing cold water. So do not stir the solution, just drop a solution, drop a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate. Allow the crystal to settle at the bottom. Okay, so here what we can observe now, particles of matter are continuously moving. Okay, so there are two forms of energy. Yes, what are they? Potential energy and kinetic energy. What is meant by potential energy? The energy possessed by the object when it is at rest. What is meant by kinetic energy? The energy possessed by the body when it is moving, isn't it? So here we know the particles of matter are continuously moving. That means they are possessing what? Kinetic energy. They are moving, no? So they are possessing what? Kinetic energy. Okay, so in this activity we are using, one is hot water, another one is cold water. Yes, so as the temperature rises, the particles move faster. We can dissolve salt or sugar in hot water faster than in cold water, isn't it? Why? Because as the temperature rises, the particles move faster. Okay, so we can say that with increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles also increases. Understood? So the particles are continuously moving. When the increase in temperature, the kinetic energy, that means the movement of the particles also increases. That's why when we are dissolving salt or sugar in the hot water, it will easily get dissolved, okay, than in cold water. Because why? When the temperature rises, the particles movement will be faster. Okay, so in the above three activities what we have seen, we can observe that particles of matter intermix on their own with each other. So the between the spaces between the particles, this intermixing of particles of two different types of matter. So here we can see the copper sulfate is mixing with water. Yes, so the drop of blue or red ink is mixing with water, isn't it? So the intermixing of particles of two different types of matter on their own is called as diffusion. Okay, so on heating, diffusion become faster. Okay, so in diffusion means what is meant by diffusion? What is meant by diffusion? The intermixing of two or more different types of matter on their own. Here we can see that ink is one matter and water is one matter. There is an intermixing of two different types of matter, yes, by its own. So such process is called what? Diffusion. So next physical nature of the matter is particles of matter attract each other. Okay, so there is an attraction between the particles of matter. Okay, so for this we can see the activity. So you have to take an iron nail, okay, a piece of chalk and a rubber band. Okay, so you have to take iron nail, a piece of chalk and a rubber band. Try breaking them, okay, by hammering. Okay, just you by using hammer, just you try to break it, or by cutting or by stretching you have to try to break it. Okay, it is more easier, we can see that it is more easier to break the chalk, yes, less easier to break the rubber band, and very difficult to break the iron nail. Why? because the particles in the iron nails are held together. So you know, solid particles means they are held together by due to the attraction of particles within the matter. Okay, so the particles in the iron nails are held together with greater force than in the rubber band or chalk. So we can't easily break the particles in the iron nail. Okay, but we can easily break the chalk. Yes, because the particles in the chalk is not held together with a greater force. Understood? So particles of matter attract each other. So here we can see pieces of chalk. So they are rigid because the particles of matter are held together, which is giving a fixed shape. Okay, why, how they held together? Due to the attraction between the particles of the chalk. Understood? So particles of matter attract each other. Okay, understood children? So I hope that you all understand about the physical nature of matter. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you children.